Hey everyone. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I had a great time stopping by the garage of Evolve Racing and taking a deep dive with Keith on the TesTen. You might recall that's a Tesla swapped S10 pickup truck that's set up for off-road racing. So Keith was nice enough to take me around, teach me a bunch. I learned so much. I don't really know and didn't really know a ton about off-road rigs like that. And so it was really interesting learning that from someone who knows so much. He was real gracious with his time. So I hope you also enjoy it. And here we go. Deep dive with the TesTen. Enjoy. This is recording. Let's check out these batteries then.
Check out the mess.
So they're down to 18 volts.
Right now they're down to about 18 volts.
Drag charging is the only way?
As of right now, yes, because I
Okay.
don't have a charger.
Yeah.
So, because when we were at Hammers, we borrowed Kyle's chargers. So, we have our chargers, but we just can't talk to them. Because we still have the Tesla chargers that came out of it. And then there's our crate. So, you can kind of tell on the bottom of here, that's where 13 of them lay on their edge. Underneath there, 3 on flat on top. And that's all 16 modules in there.
They're on their edge.
They're on the edge. We
instead of
suitcased them.
flat. Okay.
So it's 6 suitcase, 13 in the bottom, and then 3 flat on top. And by the time you're done, 1,200 pounds, 1,300 pounds.
That's a good deadlift.
It's got a lifting eye. You ain't moving it by hand.
No.
And then right now we're still in the wiring of the BMS. So as of right now, we're running the Orion. If things go different, we might be changing systems. We'll see how that goes. But
Plugs right through here. You designed this, right?
I designed the crate, and then these are the factory Tesla connectors. So that's your coolant, your CAN bus, and to talk to the BMS, and then that's your high voltage connector. All quick connect.
Sweet. Did you weld this all too?
No, I didn't. My buddy did.
Okay, cool.
I can't weld aluminum.
I can't weld anything, so you're still ahead of me.
I welded the whole truck.
So I didn't realize how much of this was like custom at this point. Because from the outside, it looks like just
It still looks like a
S10.
truck.
Yeah, looks like an S10.
But
like, holy smokes, there's so much.
oh, it's a one-off. Yeah, it's a full chassis build. So, 1-ton axles, Dana 80 rear, Dana 60 front, a Ford 205 transfer case, ORD Magnum drive. It's disc brake converted all the way around. 14-inch coilovers all the way around. 4-link in the rear, 3-link in the front.
Dang.
I mean, you see the whole back half of the truck is all custom tube chassised. And then your coolant, one radiator on top is for the motor. The other radiator is for the batteries. And there's another one in the front of the truck that cools the inverters.
Okay, that's the inverters. Got it.
So I separated the systems. And then you can see battery box slides in on the rails. And then my phone goes off. That's garbage.
Hey, did you get car insurance? It's not too late.
No, this one's tractor parts.
Oh, tractor parts. I haven't gotten that one yet. I got
This one's parts for the
insurance and
tractor.
house insurance.
This is a farm repair time. So, but yeah, as you can tell, battery box sets in here. Slides in.
Right in.
Just slides right in. You set it on the worm drive, you can push it in with a 1/2-inch ratchet. And it's got one lock bar that locks it in here. As it goes in there, it locks in the top too.
Wow.
And then your power, coolant, and then CAN bus goes in the middle.
And it just, when you slide in, it kind
When
of
you
plugs
slide in, it
itself
plugs
in?
itself in
No way.
in one push.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
And then your main fuse
And
is
there's
in the
a
gray
hammer
box.
in there in case it misbehaves. You throw it in a little
Yeah,
bit.
that was trying to make stuff fit the other day. Had a bent piece of steel in there.
Massage.
That's it.
Junction box, you said?
So main fuse is in the gray box,
Okay.
and then the silver box in the center is your contactors.
Okay.
That turns the whole truck on. And once the seats and everything are in, you don't see none of it. All you see is the silver contactor box.
That's cool.
Everything's pretty well hidden in this.
And you can just see the very end of the motor, but it's easier to see from over here, right?
Oh, yeah, you see the end of the transfer case. And
End
then
of the-
see all the
end of the
hooping
transfer
underneath
case.
is
Yeah.
the cradle.
Okay.
That's the
Which
cradle.
you
holds
did
it
a
all.
custom cradle.
Custom cradle holds it all.
And there it is.
There's the motor, 2 transfer cases, and then the controllers in the firewall.
Right. Controller there.
Yep.
You broke that apart from the typical Tesla
We
assembly.
divorced the transaxle and basically took everything apart off of it.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's so, I already said this to you. It's really neat seeing them mounted long ways like this. This is in the same tunnel that the transmission would have been in.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like it was meant to be.
And then lots of cage work for the racing we do.
Yeah.
There is a lot of steel in this truck.
Safety is important, though.
Oh, yeah, especially when you're in the desert. And if we get this thing to start doing about 80 like we want.
Do you hook up helmets to this? Is this a
That's our
dust
air
filter?
It keeps us pumping fresh air in our helmets to keep
Wow.
the air, dust out.
That's cool.
So there's your air, and there's your comms.
Neat. Okay. Kill switch.
Master kit off to cut the contactors.
Okay.
And now in the racing we're doing, we're talking about requiring that on all 4 corners. Front, rear, and both sides.
Is that going to be hard?
No, we're just going to have to run more wiring and put another cutout.
Okay.
So it's all on a daisy chain. So once you kill one, it kills them all.
Got it.
But it's just stuff we're talking about adding for more safety to these.
You got voluntarily, or is a racing division or group saying, oh, we ought to have more?
No, we're kind of all talking and building the rules as we go.
Okay.
Because it's a new class.
Yeah.
You know, it's never been done. So, and then you see the nightmare of 12 volt under there, which is now moving. So all the 12 volt that's in the firewall is going to move to where the radio is. Where her comms are,
yeah,
we have to move that. We figured out that because the 2 computers are under here. You got the main computer for the truck and the steering computer's under there.
Okay.
Those comms are actually overrunning the CAN bus.
Oh, really?
So when we key up and talk to main pit, it actually overpowers the CAN bus and excites the steering pump.
Interesting.
So
wow.
we're like, oh, we're getting RF bleed.
Uh-huh.
Never thought about that.
No, you wouldn't.
And then we got the high voltage wiring is all shielded already, but we're still getting a little bleed through it. So now we're going to shield all that and shield the CAN bus. So that way both systems are shielded even more. So, and then like on her side, there'll be a navigation here and a handle here for her. It's all over on the taken apart right now. She has her little GPS screen she looks at all day.
Cool.
So that's part of that fun.
Yeah, that is fun.
And then once the console's all together, you don't see any of the high voltage wiring.
All completely hidden.
It's all under the dash. It's all in the console. It's all out of hand's reach.
That's very cool.
So I wanted to make it where nothing can get cut or touched. And then what's left of what used to be where the engine was.
But there's plenty here now.
There's a lot going on up here still. Like I said, there's your inverter cooler. That cools the DC-DC and the DC-AC. We're still running regular brakes, vacuum power boosted right now. We're probably going to convert to hydraulic power boosted. You got 2 12-volt batteries.
Okay.
Because we do have a lot running on 12 volt. I mean, the vacuum pump for the brakes, the vacuum pump for our helmets, you know, all of our comms, our GPS, all of our lights, everything's all 12 volts. So we figured 2 batteries gives us a little front weight and takes the load off the DC-DC.
Yeah.
So you have more in the reserve. So, and then in the back's our steering pump. It's 400 volt steering pump, CAN bus controlled.
That's custom, right?
So
Or
there's a
new
company,
offering?
there's actually a company that makes that pump 20 minutes from here. They
That's
make the
awesome.
pump.
Sweet.
And the guy that actually designed the system to do what we're doing is in Massachusetts. So they use that pump mainly is for buses.
Really?
For
Like
all these
school
new
buses?
EV buses
Okay.
and EV trucks that are starting to come out.
Yeah.
That's what that steering pump's made for.
Awesome.
So we repurposed it for what we're doing. So, and then there's a little steering orbital on the steering column under the dash that controls that. So when
Okay.
it senses me turn the steering wheel, it turns the RPMs up on the pump.
Wow. Okay.
And then when we're not turning the wheel, it idles down and conserves more voltage.
So this is really sophisticated because you have the pump, and then this filter, right?
Yep.
Back.
That's your reservoir.
Reservoir.
Yep.
Breather.
That breather, yep, that's a catch can. Just catches all the oil from the transfer cases and the hydraulics.
So not part of the steering.
It's not part of it. It's just a vent.
Just a vent.
Just a vent.
But this is part of the steering.
This is your orbital.
So there's no mechanical connection between steering and
the
wheels.
axle and the wheels. Nope. So yeah, you got your reservoir that feeds your pump feeds your orbital feeds your steering ram that's on the axle, and it all return flows through a cooler, through the filter, and back in the system.
That's so cool.
It's on a closed loop. So, and then there's your steering ram, and here's your two hoses running up the upper link to steer it.
I've never seen that before, and I think that's just the coolest thing.
It's something we've been doing in the off-road world for quite a while. So,
well, it's a brand new world to me, so I'm really impressed. Wow!
But as you see, we got coilovers on it. Those are your bump stops, limit straps. So, kind of like a big monster truck, but just smaller.
Yeah, a mini monster truck.
Mm-hmm. Same kind of concept.
Yeah.
But everything's armor plated and built. There's a 1/4-inch thick plate there that protects the transfer cases and the motor.
Right.
So rocks do go where they shouldn't.
And this is all new front end as well.
So this is what's left of the original frame rail from here, under the cab.
Okay.
And then this is all new for the EV build, was from here forward.
And that was for weight savings as well as just make it fit better.
Well, fit better for the application. We weren't running a V8 in there no more, so we can narrow it. And it gives us more angle for suspension. So we narrowed that up, and then we got to lift it a little higher. So to give us even more clearance with the axles.
You changed the top mounting location of the suspension?
Yeah.
As part of doing that?
Oh, yeah. I was able to bring them in more.
And that's good.
It gives you... There's a crazy math to it where and I don't know how to do it all either, but if you angle the shocks to a certain point, as you articulate, you can leverage more out of your shocks because you're getting more angle out of it.
Okay. Interesting.
So...
I mean, everything about this is just intense geometry under pressure.
Good thing there's a program on the computer that helps me figure that all out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, on one of the 4x4 sites, there's actually a program for that to help you design it and make sure it all works the way you want to through a demo on it.
That's sweet.
But, yeah, all kinds of goodies. Oh, yeah,
There's that pump again.
Yep, there's a steering pump. There's your DC-DC.
DC there.
Which is out of the Tesla, too.
Oh, you were able to repurpose that?
Yeah. We ran one 12-volt wire and just turned the enable on it. And then safety's crazy. I mean, look, we got 2 fire extinguishers on the outside, another one in the cab, so... And there's window nets. They're not on right now. And then we have to wear full race suit, full helmets, gloves, shoes.
Yeah, lots of safety equipment.
Safety is number one. I mean, I got my wife in there. Come on.
Heck yeah.
Got to get home to the kids somehow.
It makes it fun.
Oh, yeah.
Safety first so you can have fun.
I mean, we got the AEM tells us our voltage. You can see I got three coolant temperature gauges in there. So we can actually monitor everything.
One for each radiator.
One for each radiator. One for each system.
And then all of these controls are like suspension and
no.
things like that? No?
Let's see. You got winch, yep. Your hydraulic pump to turn on and off. Your vacuum pump to turn on. Cab lights, headlights, rock lights, chase lights. Turn the GPS on. You can lock and unlock the front axle. And then we're having issues. I don't like the programming in the computer. So when you hit the brake, you can't preload in reverse. So I didn't like that. So now that little button is our release to get the AEM to let us come out of park mode.
Oh, interesting.
Because it looks for a brake light signal.
Okay.
So now we can do that.
That's your brake light?
That's going to be the brake light to the computer, and then I can preload on the motor.
That's awesome.
And then this is your main parking brake. You just push the brakes in and lock that down. That locks the valving on the braking.
That is like a tractor.
Yeah.
That's what I think of.
Well, there's no transmission to throw in park no more.
Right.
So I needed a way to still park it, and we don't run cable-assisted parking brake or electrical because it's just stuff to get in the way.
Right.
Well, we already have hydraulics, so why not just use a hydraulic braking?
Okay.
So
What about this stuff in here?
So that's your transfer cases. So there's two
I've driven
transfer
trucks
cases.
before, and they have one transfer case.
Standard vehicle has one transfer case. For our application, we have a high-low transfer case gearbox, which is the far lever on her side.
Okay.
The lever closest to you actually can unlock and lock the front axle, and the middle lever unlocks and locks the rear axle.
Okay.
So I can actually just make this front-wheel drive or just rear-wheel drive, and then lock them both in.
Wow.
So I have options.
That's really cool.
And then we can go into double low range when we kick both transfer cases into double low.
And benefit of that is to put the power where you need it, but also you're not having to split the power, right? So if you put it all to the rear, then you're getting more power to the rear than if you had it going to all four.
You can just shut on and off. There's no variance in it.
Okay.
But there's what we like to power dig over when we get in the rocks. So we'll get over and we'll get the back tire bound up, and we'll just kick the front end over and basically light the tires off and slide it around.
Okay.
I used to have a brake in there that would lock the rear up too. We used to have a handle to lock hydraulics up.
Okay.
And we do what we call power digging. So it's a little fun kicks when you're rock crawling.
Yeah, there's a lot of technical elements to it, right?
Oh yeah.
Even once the car is working, everything's good, then the technical element of
we're not driving over little pebbles. We're driving over rocks about as big as a truck.
Medium rocks, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could tell that was just on one run, and they're already starting to cut them back.
How many will one set last you a season or an event?
Depends. The pro guys, they'll shred a set of tires in one race.
Okay.
I already ruined one. I got a rock through it. So one
right through it.
Yeah, I put a rock through the sidewall.
Okay.
And it's already ruined. And it's brand new.
Dang.
It's already no good. So, I mean, I think we can get a season out of the tires the way we race.
Yeah.
So that's what we're hoping.
For now.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell, even look at how big our sway bars are versus a standard car.
Yeah, it's beefy.
Big, heavy sway bar. Well, everything on here is beefy. I mean, the 4-link's 250. All the link bars on here are 1/4 inch thick.
I feel like the more that I look at it, the more I notice. There's just
more
so
goodies.
You can't even fully take it all in because there's so much detail to the build and so much that you've done to it. It's just really cool.
Well, I think, do I have any out? I got all kinds of goodies. Go through my spare parts. I'll show you how big my links are. That's one of the old ones. That tells you how big my links are.
Wow.
A little overkill.
Yeah.
It's 1 1/4 thread.
So you don't want it to break.
Actually, I do break these.
Do you?
Yes.
Dang.
I've bent them, but that's how overkill everything is on here.
Yeah. I guess there's no delicate way to go over those big rocks. You just kind of got to go.
Point and shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, you delicately go over them to a point, but you can't get over them. You just back up and give them a nice bump. So, all the years I've been wheeling, I like to play. I wheel hard. I kind of beat the truck up. That's why I've been changing all the bars underneath. There's more up on the shelf. I've been making new ones because I bent most of them. And they're all tacoed already. But it's fun.
It looks fun. And battery stuff's going to be done and you're going to be racing this season.
Yes. We were supposed to race this weekend, but we're not going to make it.
All right.
So we're still waiting on other components, but we're taking the truck just to play with it.
That'll be good.
So play with it and show it off some more.
Cool. Get people excited.
Well, yeah, a lot of the guys I raced with didn't get to see it.
Okay.
Because everybody was at the race doing their own thing. We were all so busy getting ready for the race. So now this kind of racing, you got more downtime to sit there and have fun and look at each other's stuff.
Yeah.
So
is it ready for the 4-wheel drift?
I don't know. We haven't got to try with enough battery yet. We haven't got to try it since I rewired it and it actually works right now. Now we got the throttle response right. We might be able to.
Might be able to.
We just need a full charge.
Drag it again.
That's what we're going to do here this week. We're going to drag charge it just to get it ready to go. But that'll be the next fun. I mean, you can see there's a CAN bus, more of it right there. So trying to make the Tesla system match into what I'm doing.
Yeah. Refinement never ends.
No, customizing never ends.
Yeah.
You know, when you're trying to take another component and mold it into what you want, it takes some time to do it.
And as you do more, then you realize how to make it better and improve.
Oh, yeah. We've already found bugs on here that we need to fix after the last race.
Okay.
Like I said, we're getting interference with RF bleeding and all that. So those are things I didn't know about that I'm learning as we go and we need to fix. But we'll get them figured out.
Yeah, one thing at a time.
Oh, yeah. And making it all fit into this package is the fun part.
And then the driving. That's also fun, right?
Oh, I love driving this truck. Problem
All right.
is I don't have a rock crawler no more now.
Isn't that what this is?
We can still go rock crawling in it, but we don't want to break it and then have a race in a few weeks after.
So no recreation.
I don't have no rec crawler right now. I'm just going to start building that probably in a month.
Okay.
I hope.
That can
No,
be,
it's not going to be an EV.
S10?
No, actually, I have an 81 Jeep Scrambler.
Oh, sweet. Those are nice.
I have a Unicorn Jeep.
Sweet.
So they only made that Jeep 4 years. It's longer than a CJ7.
Yeah.
So I got a Unicorn Jeep.
That'll be cool.
It'll be built as big as this one.
Hmm.
Bigger tires. It's going to be on 42s.
Okay.
42s and an LS up there on the shelf for it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, there's one. I got another one out back too. I used to buy a bunch of them.
When they're available.
Oh, when I used to find them cheap, I would.
Yeah.
But the LS is there. The transmission's sitting next to the old engine from the truck's right there.
Okay.
That's the engine that came out of the S10.
Oh, wow.
Sitting on the pallet.
That's pretty cool. It gets to watch what's going on.
Yeah.
Are you going to reuse that for something?
Probably. I might sell it.
Yeah.
But the transmission that's out of the S10's there, and that's going to go in the new Jeep. But yeah, that's what's left of the S10 pile.
Is it stock transmission for the S10?
It's a 4L80E, so it's a heavy 1-ton.
Okay.
And I did a full manual valve body in it. So it no longer shifts on its own.
Button?
It's still a shifter,
Uh-huh.
but you put it in second, it stays in second.
Oh,
You put
okay.
it in third, it's manually shifted. So there's no computer control no more.
Interesting. I did something similar without messing with the valving with the old the Eclipse that I had.
Yep.
You could hook it up and bypass the relay so that it wouldn't shift. When you flipped a switch, it would go through a shift box.
Okay, so
and
you
it would
bypass
stay-
solenoids.
You bypass the solenoids. And then if you want to shift up, you press the button and it shifts up.
Yep.
Press it down. So it's kind of like flappy paddles, but
Yep.
buttons and stuff.
CompuShift did that too on my Ford conversion for a while. But yeah, this one's full manual valve body, so whatever gear you slam the shifter in, it stays in.
Cool.
But it's all part of crawling, and you get dynamic braking going downhill because you got it'll hold back in first gear, so you can use a converter to hold you back.
Okay, sure.
So
Yeah, that makes sense.
and then there's all of our extra battery boxes up top.
Yeah.
There's our crates.
5 total is what you're going for, you said?
For next year's big race, I think I want 5.
Yeah.
My plan is to try to change
500 kilowatts.
if we get 100 kilowatt batteries. Yeah.
I think you're gonna. That's a
And
year away.
we'll probably use all that in one race.
Nice.
And then we got spare tires sitting over on the other side of that. So 4 spares.
Too much fun.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I could just keep talking all day on this, man.
Oh, I know. It's fun. There's so much on this little truck.
Yeah, it really is.
Especially if you've never been seen the rock crawling side or the off-road side. Yeah.
This is all new and interesting to me. I'm learning a ton. So I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Where's the seats?
Oh, right there.
Okay, see, 4-point harnesses or
5.
whatever. 5-point.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to really tighten those things to hold.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because you got 1 there, 2, 4, 5.
It's like a car seat for adults.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, they're comfy too.
Nice.
And then we got to have a Hans device. So we have a helmet,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have a Hans device, which the seatbelts hold down, and you can't turn your head.
I mean, you look at you in that, and you're getting tossed around.
Well, yeah. When I was crawling it, then I was just wearing a lap belt. I never wore
Really?
the 5 harness.
Well, that's probably why you're
Yeah,
getting
see.
tossed around so
A
much.
lap belt and a beer in the door where the door used to be, because it used to have half doors, and you could actually put a beer in there.
Gotta stay hydrated.
That's wreck willing.
Yeah.
Racing, you can't do that no more.
Right. Gotta be safe.
Oh yeah. Well, see, and that's what works our front axle. That's CO2.
How does that play into the front axle?
So it's a selectable locker in it.
Okay.
So it has a little diaphragm in there.
That's the gear?
No, that's what this toggle switch does. That's why I said the lock that works the front locker.
Yeah.
So it has a little diaphragm in it. So it's basically like a normal car. One wheel will only spin.
Yeah.
But when you lock that in, both wheels spin. It locks it solid.
Oh, okay.
And he uses that CO2 and it activates it and locks it.
And it's like a canister. You get X number of
Yeah, I
operations?
can tell on the charge on the gauge.
Okay.
And then I just go have it refilled.
Okay. Interesting.
Some guys put compressors on. I just like the nitrogen, so it's a whole lot easier to have the CO2 on board.
And lighter probably too. As a system?
It's lighter and it's easy. It's one less thing to worry about.
Yeah.
You know, you just turn the valve on, you're done.
Yep.
It's one less component to break.
Yeah, right.
But oh yeah, all kinds of goodies.
It is. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. That build is just incredible. I'm really looking forward to seeing it in its next iteration and seeing what they do with it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for more to come. Bye-bye.